just flipped off by a silver-haired old lady with a honk if you love Jesus sticker on the bumper of her car.
Man, I love that.
10:50. 10 minutes before 11 here in the Twin Cities on AM 950, the Progressive Talk Station. This is Doug Pagitt with Doug Pagitt Radio. Hey, if you're all interested in following along with Doug Pagitt Radio, you can do that over at DougPagittRadio.com. You can find a live chat room over there, people that are watching the show, people that are chatting in and giving their input. If you're a Facebooker and would love it if you would friend the show, whether you listen to this live and need to remember to do that in a little while, or you're listening to it online, you can go do it right now. If you're listening to it on a podcast, when you get back to the computer, do it. Or if you're listening on your computer live or through a podcast, head over to Facebook.com/Doug Pagitt Radio and become a fan of the page. That's a big deal. You're also going to find over there a book deal, a book special. I write books, and I have 5 of them, and I'm selling them in a Christmas book pack, Grover, a Christmas book pack that you can buy. You can find details over there at Facebook.com/Doug Pagitt Radio. Also, if you're a Twitterer and you want to follow on Twitter, my handle on Twitter is Pagitt, Pagitt. Be glad to join you in to the thousands of friends over there on Twitter. And we can stay in touch that way. So I try to remember to share those things at the start of each show, and I so often forget because there's so many good things to be talking about. What we do here on this radio program is we try to talk about all the important issues that go on in the world. Try to raise those from a religious perspective, and sometimes they're not particularly religious, but religious people need to be engaged in all areas of life and not just talking about their own stuff. It's part of the reason I call this religious radio. That's not quite right, because normally religious radio only talks about religious stuff. And we're like that. We're a religious show. We're going to have an author on here in the second hour named Robert Burton, who's written a book called On Certainty. I always say that. It's called On Being Certain. Believing you're right even when you're not. I think it has a lot to do with how we should think about science and religion in the world that we live in. And so does he. And so he's going to be on the show. We're going to be talking about that. I try to do this little segment here in the last segment of each hour. One called Cripes, Come On, You Gotta Be Kidding Me, things that aren't right in the world. And one of them that's called Right On. Well, at the end of the first hour is the Cripes, Come On, You Gotta Be Kidding Me. Here's the Cripes for the day. My wife tells me this. She works at a local nice restaurant kind of thing where you go up to the bar and you get top quality foods. And you go up and you get this top quality foods up there. And she tells me that quite often people don't tip. And other people have told me who work in these kinds of environments, coffee shop like, where you get food and someone prepares your stuff, that there's a real dilemma about tipping or not. So people have told me that famous people from this state, famous people, Supreme Court judges, often don't tip at these places. I've heard this rumor, and it's been confirmed, that many people don't tip when someone prepares their food. And even, so deliberately not tipping that they use a check or credit card, and in the place where it says tip, they just draw a line, and they don't tip. And you know what they earn today, the non-tippers of the world? Cripes.
It's a reservoir dog factor, I'm telling you.
I don't know what that means. Is that a movie reference?
It's a movie
because that sounds like a movie.
And it's... the actor Steve Buscemi, who actually says it, says, I don't tip because society says I have to tip.
Oh, so people like being contrarians?
It's like you tip at a restaurant, but you don't tip the people at McDonald's.
Yeah,
They're still preparing your food and giving it to you.
I get that. But when the business model is built around tipping and you want to eat at the establishment that's chosen that business model, tip people. I'm telling you, I can make the argument too that you don't tip at fast food places, but the fast food place has an agreement with the employees that it's not going to include tips, and the employees work there under that knowledge. But when you go to a place where the receipt has a tip section on it, or there's a bin sitting out there, the deal in that place is the social norm is you tip. And if you don't wanna, no problem, don't eat there. Now, these aren't my shops, and I'm not speaking for any shop owner, but all I'm saying is if you're going to eat at the place that asks for tips as a part of their cost structure, tip. So to the people, the wealthy people, and I know there's plenty of wealthy people that have been seen in these establishments by friends of mine. They earn a Cripes. Like the one guy ordered a $46 meal from a friend of mine at a little thing, for his family or whatever. Came up and picked it up. 0 tip. The person spent all this time putting the food together, preparing it, making special coffees. $0 tip, people. If it says tip, then you tip. If you're at a place where it doesn't say tip, then don't. And if you don't want to be asked to tip, don't go to places that have that as their model. That's the Cripes of the day. The non-tippers. The come on. I was going to use Target for my come on because I'm at Target. I used to think that whenever I needed something, I could go to Target. Good grief. Now I go to Target. I can't find anything I want anymore. They carry like the most limited selection of everything. You know what I wanted to buy yesterday?
They have everything.
They don't. They don't have everything. That's drilled into my head when I was a kid because Target used to have everything. Now they have a very few things and a whole lot of those. I was trying to buy some plastic water pitcher. Just a plastic water pitcher. Nope.
You got to go to Walmart for that.
No, that's what I'm getting at. I got to go to Walmart or where our man Grover shops, Kmart. And I thought that. I should head over to the Kmart. I bet they have a plastic water pitcher. You can't
toasters.
buy one at Target. Unbelievable. But they're not earning my come on. You know what's earning my come on today? You, Grover. You earned my come on today.
What?
Grover's my little, my little helper around here. He's the engineer. He makes all of this possible. He makes sound come through the air. He is a magic man. Because I came in today and noticed that Grover had gotten a haircut. And I noticed that because I've decided this week, well, actually 2 weeks ago, I'm going to grow my hair longer. I've been wearing, just sort of the short sort of buzzer kind of cut sort of thing, just going to stick it up with a little bit of gel in it sort of thing. I have very, very, very little hair, so it's unnoticeable to your average person if I've grown my hair out or not, other than my wife, who will probably be listening to this and not be happy with the fact that I've decided to grow my hair out. But I came in today and saw that Grover had got a haircut the same week that I decided to grow my hair longer, and it confirmed my theory and made me say, come on, it's probably true. There's a certain length of hair in the world. And when one person gets a haircut, somebody else is growing it longer. And somehow the whole world just stays in an equilibrium of balance.
It's a smooth hair flow.
There's some Zen-like hair length in this world. And you got to be kidding me in the last minute goes to those people who created the Psalm 109:8 campaign. Don't know if you know about this, but these people started one about Obama. And Psalm 109 verse 8 says, may his reign be short and may someone else take his seat. And people are using this for Obama, thinking it's funny to say, boy, maybe he'll be out of there soon. The problem is that that's a death wish in that psalm. The next verse says, and may his wife be a widower and his children be orphans. And these people have bumper stickers and T-shirts that are simply called Psalm 109:8. The come on, the Cripes, the you got to be kidding me of the day goes out not just to the people who created that, but to the Christians who don't speak up and say, that's over the line. Stop using the Bible like that. So to my Christian brothers and sisters, we got to knock this stuff off. Tell people we're doing it to knock it off. Doug Pagitt Radio, religious radio. It's not quite right on AM 950. The Progressive Talk Station in Minnesota, DougPagittRadio.com, around the world and on the internet.
Jesus, sticker on the bumper of her car.